morning, welcome to the Friday Waffle. There's a time, doesn't matter what the time is, it's actually 5 to 9 on Friday. It's a glorious night. I'm actually not long back from walking the dogs. Back in the chair again. It would be nice in the old games room, if you're a sort of long time follower of the channel, you remember that I sometimes recorded the waffle with, I used to have my MAME cab, which would kind of in that corner, and then I had a couple of machines. It was always quite nice to kind of have video games. I mean, I know Novabug, he's always got a video game playing in the background, and Steve Benny does that as well. I would like to do that, but I don't really, well, I mean, I could sit in a chair and have it pointing, but you know what, my videos, my Friday Waffles are not about what you see, it's what about you hear, as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, how the hell are you? I'm absolutely fine. What did I do? What was I up to this week? I was at the gym a few times, went out a run. Gaming wise, yeah, in fact, last weekend I had a couple of friends, I mentioned in the last week's waffle, a couple of friends up from London came to see me. They stayed over Friday night and Saturday night, and then they went into Edinburgh on the Sunday. We took them to, where did we go to? We went to the Falkirk Wheel, which it's a large piece of engineering, and it basically it lifts a barge from one level of canal up to a higher level. Now I believe it's one of a kind, I think in the world actually. It's quite a remarkable looking thing. I mean, it's kind of a pendulum. If you imagine you've got a basin of water which a barge sits in, and then beneath that you've got another one. So the one below, the barge comes into the sort of pendulum thing. There's already one up here, and they just basically, I think the weight, I don't think you need one at the top, but basically the weight of the top spins it around and it takes the one from the lower level up to the higher level. Yeah, it's quite an amazing looking thing, especially if you're into engineering, whatever. Apparently it only uses 8 to boil it. It uses 8 kettles of hot water. Not literally hot water, but the amount of power it takes to boil a kettle 8 times is what the amount of power it takes to use this thing. So quite interesting to look at. We also went to see the Kelpies. Now, if you don't know what the Kelpies are, a Kelpie is a mythological, I think it's an Irish water horse. Now, from what I can tell, it is just literally, it looks like a horse, but it lives in the sea. And these Kelpies, they're absolutely enormous. It's basically the head of 2 Kelpies rearing from the water. I mean, they're massive. I don't know how high they must be, 40, 50 feet in height. Google it, you'll find them. They're stunning to look at. I mean, if you're driving, if you're on the M9 motorway going past Stirling, you'll see them. They look amazing, especially at night time. They've got all these lights inside which kind of change colour, so they look amazing. So did that. We played pool. Me and my mate Mark took on my girlfriend and his wife at pool, and we got absolutely pumped. I think it was it 6-2, I think it was. So yeah, got a pumping at pool. What else? I mean, that was kind of it. But a really nice weekend. But yeah, they mentioned both Mark and his wife, they're avid video gamers. And I was asking them, I says, what have you been playing? What games are you playing at the moment? And they told me there's a game called A Way Out, and it's by Electronic Arts. I'd never heard of it. However, when I checked it out, I instantly recognised it. I remember watching the trailer for it, and I was quite intrigued as to see what kind of game it is. And basically, you can only play it with 2 players. You can either play it split screen or you can play it online, but you can't play it on your own. And what is real interesting about it, especially playing it in the same room, I mean, my daughter and I, we've been, excuse me, I've just got wind, pardon me. Yeah, it's a split screen. The screen is split that way, so you got the screen like that, one half, and you basically have to work together. You start off in a prison, you've got to try and escape. I'm not going to tell you any more about the game, I don't want to spoil it for anyone. It's currently only £15. I've not been playing any new games for a long time, but myself and Ava are having a great time with it. The graphics are astonishing, and what I like about it is when you're walking about, you're effectively both playing the same game, but you could be doing something completely different and the other person's doing something completely different. But you can see each other on your own screen, if that makes any sense. It's called A Way Out. Thoroughly recommend it if you've got somebody that you can play it with and you like the idea of it. Imagine Head Over Heels by Ocean Software made for today. It's that kind of thing, you both need to work together, but I don't think Head Over Heels was a simultaneous two-player game, was it? Don't think it was, but yeah, A Way Out, that's what it's called. Really good. I think we're about 2 hours into the game so far, so we've been playing a fair bit of that. Any other gaming wise, not a great deal. My mate Mark, he fell in love with my main cab, so he was playing quite a bit of that. He played Bubble Bobble, and he got something like 300,000 points in it. So yeah, really good weekend. Like I said, this weekend, been playing that game, been going out for walks, busy at work, but nah, quite happy. You know what? See, when you get decent weather, it makes all the difference. I mean, I'm not long back. I was out with the dogs for a walk, and what was quite interesting, you can probably see I've started. I mean, I've always shaved my hair, I should say. But I bought myself. It's a head razor. It's got 5 blades, and you basically put your fingers through it, and you just run it over your head, and it almost kind of gives you a blade kind of look. I mean, I can still feel it at the back of my head. It's quite smooth. It's very short. I like it like that. You know, I'm not a big fan of having hair. So technically, I look bald. And as I was coming down the road with the dogs, there was a group of guys and girls, about 20 of them, in a big huddle, and I'd walked past them, and I was quite far away, and one of them turned down and shouted, "Baldy bastard." I went, "Really?" 10 out of 10 for imagination. So yeah, listen, I'm going to have to make this. I know I say it all the time, but I really am going to have to make this quite a short waffle, because I'll tell you the reason why. It's 9 o'clock now. Tonight is it's the West Highland Way race. Now, again, if you've followed my channel for a few years, you might have heard me mention this race. It's quite an iconic ultra race. It's 96 miles over the West Highland Way in Scotland. It starts in a place called Mulgai in Glasgow, finishes in Fort William. Now, I've done the race. I've completed it 3 times, and I've failed once. So I've started it 4 times. I've supported. You basically need a support crew, because you're running 96 miles and you're stopping. You get to checkpoints. You stop for 5-10 minutes, take on food. So you need a support crew. So I've supported 3 times, I think it is, and I've ran it 4 times. So tonight is the West Highland Way race. I'm not taking part because my running has been crap. Now, the problem I have with my running isn't laziness. It's after half an hour of running, it's not a pain. It's like a build up of gas at the top of my chest. To try and explain what it's like, if you imagine drinking a 2-litre bottle of Coca-Cola and trying to run, that's what it's like. It's just like the top of my chest is completely bagged up. All I want to do is burp. And I was telling my girlfriend this, and she said, perhaps you're gluten intolerant. Now, I'd heard of that. I've heard of gluten. I didn't really know what it was. Apparently, it's an ingredient. It's contained in wheat. So basically, any food that contains wheat, and believe you me, you would not believe the number of things that have wheat that you wouldn't think. So what I've done is, apparently man is not supposed to eat wheat because we're not very good at digesting it, and that's why some people are now gluten intolerant. So for the last 2 weeks, I've been trying to avoid. I've not been trying. I have been avoiding any food that contains gluten, and quite frankly, it's been a bit rubbish, because I mean, going to the shops and they don't. When you consider how common gluten intolerance is, there's very, very little things that you can buy. They've got, I mean, I was in Morrison's tonight, and they've got this tiny little, I don't know, 4 feet of shelf space, probably no bigger than that bookshelf, with gluten-free stuff. So I bought oat cakes, I bought biscuits, I bought, oh, what else? Crumpets and that kind of stuff. So I'm cutting out gluten to see if it makes a difference. If it does make a difference to my running, then I will become gluten-free full-time. But at that point, I really need to, I'll need to up my game and start eating properly, because I've just been eating shite. I mean, I've basically been eating anything that I can because I'm hungry. So that's where I am. So anyway, getting back to the race, my running's not been great, but I would love to be back there. Hopefully this time next year, when I'm pre-recorded a waffle, I will be taking part in the race. So tonight, it starts at 1 o'clock on Saturday morning. So my mate and myself are going to drive to the start. We're going to watch the start, because it's an amazing thing. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. There's 230 runners. There's crew. There's everybody there. It's a wonderful thing. I'm going to see quite a few of my friends are racing that. I mean, there's one guy, my namesake, James Stewart. He's won it. He won it the last time he ran it. So I'm going along to watch that, and then I'm going to go along a couple of checkpoints and watch the guys basically coming in, and then I'm going to head home. So I'll be leaving here about 11 o'clock tonight, and I'll probably get home about 5 in the morning, and I'll probably go for a sleep afterwards. So that's been that. Like I said, gaming wise, oh yeah, my mate George and Ian, they came across last night. I was showing them our way out. They were having a shot. They were very impressed with it. But that has basically been it. So what I'm going to do, guys, I mean, I don't know how far, we're 12 minutes into this. It is going to be a short waffle. I do apologise. Before I forget, I will try and remember to mention at the end of the video, I hope you can join myself and Lawn Boys Post 1975. We're going to be doing a live stream tomorrow night, which is Saturday the 22nd of June, which is tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Dave and myself are just going to be talking bollocks as we do. Dave's a great lad. We did have one planned a few weeks ago, but Dave had to cancel. So hopefully you guys can join us, but I will try and remind you again. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive into last week's waffle and see if there's any questions. I know there was certainly a few. So the first one, let's have a wee look. Batman, terrific waffleage as ever, sir. As for Atari ST versus Amiga debate, I followed a similar path to you, except it was Spectrum to ST, then on to the Amiga. As you know, you sold to buy systems back then. Exactly. Back then, you could not afford 2 systems. Well, some people may have. I certainly couldn't. If I wanted to get a new system, I had to sell the system I had to get the money to buy the new one. So my ST was sold to make way for the Amiga, and I pretty much thought ST stuff was inferior to Amiga stuff from that point onwards. Soon I forgot all about the Atari ST, and that was that for 27 years. Then a few months ago I took a gamble on an ST for £25. Amazingly it worked perfectly and I really enjoyed using it. I even had 1 meg inside the box, which was a nice bonus, but I'm still really enjoying it. Bizarrely, at present I am using it more than my Amiga. At this moment in time, I'm finding the AY chiptunes more charming than the heavy 80s and 90s synth sounds of the Amiga, which sound a little too bombastic to my 21st century ear. I feel as though the SID chip has aged more gracefully in this regard. At present, I am having more fun seeing the ST battling hard to do its thing with no hardware sprites or scrolling, as opposed to the Amiga that does this stuff in its sleep. I guess it's starting to touch upon my computer underdog fetish. So at present, I'm an ST man rather than an Amiga one. Will that change? Who can say? That's what makes this hobby such fun. You can chop and change. As for a possible subject, it's timely to ask, what are your favourite and least favourite arcade conversions for the aforementioned 16-bit computers, consoles and PCs not allowed? So for the 16-bit computers, what is my favourite and least favourite arcade conversions? Probably the obvious least favourite. When I say least favourite, I would say most pants arcade conversion would probably have to be, there's probably 2. Outrun was shockingly bad on both the Amiga and ST. When you look at the Lotus games. That's what Outrun should have been like, but the Outrun games were awful. There's no other way to put it. The other games which were terrible on the Amiga and ST, and it's probably down to the hardware and the fact that there's only one joystick button, and that was well, Street Fighter was abysmal, but then there again, the arcade version of Street Fighter was pretty bad. Excuse me. What do you call it? Street Fighter 2 wasn't the greatest. I wouldn't say it was a woeful conversion. Graphic wise, it looked okay. The problem was it came in 4 discs, so there was a lot of disc swapping, and like I says, having a single button joystick, it wasn't the greatest. The animation wasn't the greatest. You know, you look at that, you compared it to the Super Nintendo, and it absolutely paled into insignificance. But I did try and fall in love with Amiga, because obviously, you know, Amiga Street Fighter 2, because it was the big game. You know, everybody was playing it. I got it from Amiga and I thought, this is going to be brilliant, but it absolutely paled against the console one. So I'd probably say these games were the worst. My favourite arcade conversions, I would probably say there was more bad ones than good. Probably one of my favourite arcade conversions, now this might be controversial because a lot of people say the Commodore 64 version is the best, and that is Buggy Boy. The ST and Amiga Buggy Boys, I think, look astonishing. I would almost go as far as to say they look better than the arcade. I mean, the arcade one was a wide screen. I think it was 3 screens. It was massive, big screens. But the graphics were mega blocky. But the ST and the Amiga ones looked really, really nice. They were excellent. Obviously, some of the best arcade conversions that we saw, what do you call it? Rainbow Islands is a really good conversion. But again, if anyone watches my channel regularly, you'll know that I do not like Rainbow Islands. I have been asked to do a Arcade Perfect my arse off it. I've been trying to avoid doing it because I don't like the game. I really don't. I don't know what it is about the game. And Bubble Bobble is an amazing conversion on the 16-bit machines. And again, I don't know what it is. There's just something about uber cute graphics that I just don't like. And I think that is why I don't like Rainbow Islands, and I don't really like New Zealand Story, and I don't really like Bubble Bobble, possibly. But yeah, I think probably Buggy Boy is my favourite Atari and Commodore Amiga conversion, and I'd probably say, yeah, Street Fighter 2 and Outrun are probably the worst. There's probably other ones out there, but anyway, listen mate, thank you very, very much for your question. Ox, he is saying, I had a similar upgrade path, C64, Commodore 128, Atari ST, Amiga. Wish I had a C128. Yeah, the Commodore 128 goes for daft money. I would love one. I don't know why, because I don't think there was really many games that actually supported the extra memory. Did it have better graphics or something? I don't know. The only reason for getting an Atari ST today is, of course, nostalgia. Apart from a few early games, titles that were ST only, there is no other reason but nostalgia is a powerful force, and there's something about playing Super Sprint. You know what, Super Sprint, that's absolutely, I'm glad I've just read this comment. Super Sprint, I played it non-stop on the Atari ST. I used the keys. I got it, I don't think it came out in Amiga, but it was an absolutely fantastic conversion. I remember being blown away when I first got it. I bought the game and I thought this was amazing. So, loved Super Sprint. Arkanoid again, another classic. Now, disappointingly, the Gotek device which I've got for the Atari ST, which is down there, it's I will be doing a MainMeister look at. I'm going to have a look at the Atari ST. I'll show you the Gotek, how it works. But yeah, what I'm saying, annoyingly, I can't get Arkanoid to work. It will load, the game starts, but I cannot get the game to start. Normally you press the left mouse button, but for some reason using the GoTech it simply does not start. Don't know why, no idea. So anyway, sorry, Super Sprint Arkanoid and Xenon and ST with its crappy sound chip brings it back. Let's face it, we all bought Atari STs because the price of an Amiga 1000 at the time was extortionate until the A500 arrived, and then it was game over. The Amiga was Atari ST debate is very similar to the C64 versus Spectrum. In the end, the more powerful machine with a custom chip wins, and the ZX Spectrum was my first computer. So thanks for your question, Ox. Next up, we've got the mighty Down the Rabbit Hole, Kevin. Now, if you've never subscribed to Kevin, go and check his channel out down below. Kevin's he's got a great channel. He does do video game stuff, but he does some real batshit mental stuff. He's probably got one of the most unique channels out there. Go and check out Kevin's channel. I will put a wee link down below. But anyway, hi Alan, for the Friday Waffle, I have a few questions for you about Let's Play type videos. First of all, do you think it's better to use a capture card where possible, or is there something more genuine about watching someone who just points their camera at the screen so you experience them playing it? Well, I can only talk from personal experience, Kevin, and say I used to, in my early videos, I just pointed the camera at the TV, and I still do that if I'm playing console-based stuff, like, you know, I'm looking down there at all my machines. Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, any of these machines, I'll always just point the camera at the TV. When I'm recording videos using emulators, obviously, I don't use a capture card. To be honest with you, I don't really know how a capture card works. You'll never ever get good quality videos from myself. You know, I'm just not that type of person. I prefer the channels that I watch. The channels that I watch, Lactobacillus Prime, Lon Boys Post 1975, your own, you know, Down the Rabbit Hole, Steve Benway. The channels that I enjoy watching, and I don't mean this as a negative or a criticism, but generally the quality of video isn't that good. They're very simple. They point the phone or the camera at the TV like I'm doing just now. You know, there's far better, more professional videos out there, channels out there, which really go, you know, to the nth degree for sort of a quality, but you're not going to get that here, I'm afraid, guys. You're just absolutely not. I've not got time, and to me it's the content, it's not the presentation. Yeah, I would love to have HD graphics and fancy stuff, but you're not going to get it. Simple as that. So for me, Kevin, I think there's something, for me personally, I think there's something nice about just seeing somebody playing pointing at the camera at the TV or whatever. That's just my personal opinion. I know maybe a lot of people will say they prefer to watch a professional video where they're using a capture card. I'm not ever going to get a capture card. So there we go. Right, secondly, if you're looking up a let's play of a game, do you prefer the person playing to chat over the game and provide commentary, or would you like it more if they keep quiet and let the game do the talking? I would rather every time go for it where they talk, because it depends it depends. If I just want to briefly see what a game is like, then it doesn't really bother me whether there's talking or not. If I actually want to see, if I want to put a game on to see if somebody actually thinks it's any good or not, I'm quite happy to have commentary over it. I think there's something quite dull about watching a game getting played when there's no talking. I mean, there was somebody commented on a video the other day. They're saying they couldn't understand a word I was saying, and I went. They've got a channel. I went to their channel, and it's like gameplay channel, and there's no talking. And I thought, I'm not going to watch that. It's, having somebody talking, you're getting the personality of the person. Anybody can point a camera and just not talk. Now, I am absolutely not dissing channels that do that, because I understand that a a lot of people are not comfortable about talking. But for me personally, I prefer to talk. I prefer videos where somebody's talking, because you get the flavour of the person and the personality coming across in the video. So that's, again, it's just my opinion. And finally, it might be more honest to show lengthy loading times in a Let's Play video if loading times exist, but is it better than cutting them out? I'll be honest, when I'm doing my videos, I will, 9 times out of 10, I will edit loading, because when you're making a video, when you're watching a video, say for example my Arcade Perfect My Arses, you want to see what the game looks like, and you don't really want to stare at a screen where it's loading. Loading is part and parcel of playing a real game on old hardware, but if you can skip the loading, then why wouldn't you do that? So 9 times out of 10, I will chop the loading times. And I also sometimes chop the border. As we all know, the C64, Spectrum, Amstrad, they all had big borders. So to kind of make it most appealing looking, I generally cut the borders out of my videos, which might slightly mislead, because technically you could watch it and you're thinking, oh, this is full screen, and then if you went to play it yourself, you might think, hang on a second, when I watched me and Meister's video, there was no big border. But I think anybody that watches my channel and goes to play the games, you'll know full well. But I try and make my videos as visually appealing as possible, you know. Take the borders out, do away with the loading times as well. So anyway, Kev, thank you very much for your questions. As always, Mr. Doug Scullery, topic for next waffle. Back in the day when you bought music on vinyl, you would get nice artwork and lyric sheets and iconic sleeve designs. Whereas nowadays that has vanished in the era of digital download. Even CDs were just sterile, making the whole experience less memorable. Does the same sense of loss also apply to gaming? Is the cardboard box an essential part of the product? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, since I'm sitting here, let's just pick a random game. And let's hope that the instructions are in it. I think it is. There we go. Right, there we go. Super Mario Odyssey. Lovely game, by the way. If you've got a Switch, go and get this. There we go. Nice little box. It's got a cover. It's got screenshots in the back. You open it up, and there is hee-haw. That is it. There you go. You get a little SD card thing. And is that instructions? Well, I can't. You know what? I can't even read that because my eyesight is so poor. But that is it. Then, in fact, you know what? I'm going to put this back. I mean, there's Streets of Rage. Nice box. Streets of Rage 2 actually. Nice box, and you get a nice big thick manual, which was always nice to read through, reading all the different moves and that kind of stuff. So you get a nice thick manual. But this was a game we were talking about last week. Let's put this away for a second. Come on, get in. In there, and you go in there. Right next to my Switch games. Here we go. This is how it should be done. Elite on the Commodore 64. Now I have showed this before, a long time ago. Well, what do you get? You get a Space Trader's Flight Training Manual. Nice big thick book with screenshots and what have you. You get that. You get a novel, which is called The Dark Wheel. There we go, an actual tells you all about it to set the scene. Then, not finished yet, out you come. Now, I bought this purely just to have quick key control guide. There we go, it shows you all the keys, like so. Get that. I've got my warranty card for Firebird Software, Elite Disc Upgrade Offer. If you're a C64 cadet with Elite in cassette format for the Commodore 64, there's an offer that will allow you to load the game at a fraction of the time, blah blah blah. Elite on disc, £4 extra, I might send that off. There you go, I've even got the... this was bought from Errington Computers in Spennymoor. £14.95 on the 6th of July 1985 Elite. So if it doesn't load, I'll be taking that back. I love how complete this is. There we go, I've got a competition, Elite membership, Order of Elite, there we go. It's never even been completed. We also have, let's come off, we've got the little inlay thing which goes across the keyboard, telling you what keys are what. And finally, now this very poster, not this actual one, but the same poster when I bought it, ship identification guide chart. That used to adorn my bedroom wall. So there you go. That is what you got. I mean, to be honest, not many of these games, not many games had quite as much as what you got here. This was like the ultimate in sort of, you know, stuff. But like I says, the Sega Mega Drive, you get a nice big thick manual. Nowadays, you get an SD card if you're lucky. So to answer your question, Doug, absolutely, there was something really nice about having a box, absolutely, with a manual and all that kind of stuff. Whoops, sorry about that. Yeah, and it's the same with like music. I mean, back in the day, it was used to go to your pal's house, and you would flick, you would want to see his albums, his vinyl albums, and you'd sit and you'd flick through them, and you know you'd look at to see what albums he's got. Now you don't. Everything is digital, and we've lost that connection with people. You know, you got to know what somebody likes music wise. Now you've got no idea because it's all wireless headphones, whatever. So anyway, great question, Doug, and thanks for that. Colin Jones, waffle question: Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Do you have it for the PlayStation 4 and or do you plan on getting it for the Switch or PC when it's released in September? My kids all grown up have it on the PlayStation 4 and will get it for the Switch. I plan on getting the PC version provided it will run on Linux. Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I used to play Spyro on the PlayStation 1 and my daughter and I used to play it on the PlayStation 2. I can't remember what one it was. I've not played it for a long time. I'm sure I've got it. Have I got it on the PlayStation 4? Did it come out as a PlayStation Plus game? I can't remember. Probably not, Colin. Like I said, I don't play very much at all on the PS4 nowadays, but I'll be interested, once it does come out, Colin, be interested to hear what you think of it. I tend to buy games when friends tell me how good they are. I generally don't look at a game online and think I'm going to buy that. It's usually if somebody, like I said last week, my mate was going on about how great A Way Out was, and I bought it and I love it. So probably not, Colin, but let me know if it's any good, mate. Ox is saying, if I'm honest, Alan, all your best waffles are when you're laid back in a comfy chair with all your retro bells and whistles switched on in the background. My least favourite is the driving and talking waffles. By the way, I found this one short and a bit sweet. Yeah, it's just, you know, the way things are now. I mean, I've got other things that I do in my life. I don't have to be... In the olden days, when I was in my previous house, I had my games room and that's where I did the waffles. Now, I can really... I can make them in the kitchen. It all depends how much time I've got. I'm just conscious how dark it is. I'll need to kind of wrap this up before it gets too dark when you can still see me, actually. Yeah, it just depends. I mean, last week I recorded the waffle with my tablet again. And again, it's all about the content rather than the presentation. But it is nice. I do agree. I like doing a waffle sat in this chair. This was the original waffle chair. So anyway, let's see. Failed channel. Games better on the ST. Yeah, because I was asking last week, were there any games on the ST that you had to have because, or were they better on the ST? Because the way I saw it was, why would you want an Atari ST when you've got a Commodore Amiga? Because all the games are going to be better. Games better in the STFM. Defender of the Crown is the best in the ST overall. Much better game design, but it doesn't just look and sound as good as the Amiga version, which plays like a VCS gameplay wise. Also, Gauntlet 1 in the ST. Now, you know what? You're absolutely right. Gauntlet was one of the first games I bought for the Atari ST. and it looked incredible. It really did. It looked absolutely astonishing. But, and it's a big but, it was mega, mega, mega slow to the point that I never actually played it. But it just looked beautiful. It really, really did. And then they brought out Gauntlet 2, which it looked less kind of colour and that kind of stuff. Great game, but Gauntlet 1, you're right, Gauntlet 1 in the Atari ST was amazing looking. Much better and plays well, if a bit choppy and scrolling, yeah. Dungeon Master was identical on the ST, but it ran with just 512k. Amiga Dungeon Master needed the expensive Amiga RAM expansion if you bought an Amiga 1000 in the clearance sales. But yeah, even when I had my Amiga 1000 and 520 ST, I was still buying Commodore 64 games in 1987. So anyway, yeah, an excellent post there. Thank you very much, Squire. Chris Panther UK, I don't care how you film it, fella, it's the content that counts. Another decent waffle to add to the collection. For next time, bearing your is this the worst game videos, what are your top 5? That's kind of a contradiction in terms. What are your top 5 worst games ever? It would be hard. I always get criticism. Anytime you make a list of bad games, you always get people criticising you because they're saying, "Ah, it's not a bad game." I've not got a top bad 5 games. I mean, Outrun is an atrocious game. What was the game I played the other day there? Super Hang On the Commodore 64 is atrocious. The Last V8, this is always a controversial one. Absolute abomination of a game. Graphically wise, looks absolutely stunning, got an amazing soundtrack, but it is wholly unplayable. Now, I don't care what anybody says, it is unplayable, and to that point, it's not a very good game. Street Fighter on the Amiga is atrocious. Oh, what was the other? Green Beret on the Commodore 16 is probably one of, if not the worst computer games I've ever had the pleasure to play. It's just absolutely awful. But there's absolutely tons, Chris. But yeah, I'd probably say these are the ones that kind of spring to mind. Ye Oldie Gamer Steve, question: what's your opinion on some of the Nintendo Switch games that come with no cartridge in the box, only a download code? Am I stupid for thinking this is utterly absurd? Really? So wait a minute, you can buy a box and it just has a download code in it. Yeah, you know, it's a bizarre thing. I mean, I suppose you could say, well, it's no different from getting an Amazon gift voucher code. But yeah, if you're physically going to a shop to buy something, you want something for your money. You don't want a code, because once you rub the code out, you're going to ditch the box. At least with the Switch thing that I showed you, yeah, it's only an SD card, but at least it's still something that you can actually hold, you can keep. I didn't even know that was a thing, Steve. That is just insane. You know why? I don't know. It's like I say, it's the same with any of these vouchers. An iTunes voucher, you get a card and all it is, you rub off the number on the back and you get a download code. But it's the way the world's become. I think guys like you and I, Steve, we're dinosaurs. We just don't get it. Whereas kids my daughter's age, it's something that's completely normal. So anyway, listen, Steve, thanks for your question, mate. Mo Nassar, incidentally, Alan, I bought one of those Bose Soundwares and it's sort of quietly transformed my life. From gaming to watching videos to talking on the phone. It's a wearable speaker. You know what, I actually looked at that. That looks, if I get some spare cash, I might invest in one of these. It's a wearable speaker and the sound feels like it's coming from inside your head. And because I have small children, I can now play games, watch videos without feeling cut off from the rest of the house. That's actually quite interesting, yeah. So it's a thing that goes around your shoulders. It doesn't go over your ears. It means that you can be listening to what's going on, but the speakers are just kind of at the side of you. So an interesting thing, actually. My mate Alan, the worst game I suggested was called Rough Ranger. It came up as one of the 3 random games for our Retro Pie Game of the Week. And as soon as I saw it, knowing you were a fan of Rolling Thunder, glad you said that bit there, Alan, I knew you would like to check it out. It's basically Rolling Thunder. If you did everything wrong, I think it's something described as the first openly gay arcade game. But I don't think that's strictly accurate. Yeah, it's the first openly 1970s sitcom style ridiculous camp caricature, mildly offensive to everyone arcade game. Wee Bob, you were up late last night on that live stream. Glad I left for bed, otherwise work would have been snoring. Question, on that note, what is the latest time you have ever stayed up playing a game because you didn't want to put it down? For me it was Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation 1. I would have loved to have been around 17 or 18 when I got my hands on that game, and I remember playing it until silly o'clock and not wanting to go to bed. Nowadays I don't have a great deal of time for Final Fantasy World, but back then life was a little less busy. The games that I've played a few times, one game, and it's completely, you'd never believe this, it was called Formula 1. I can't even remember who brought it out, and it was on the Spectrum, and it was basically it was like Football Manager but for Formula 1. And my mate Grant and I, he had a Spectrum, I had a Commodore 64, and we swapped computers for the weekend. And I loaded this game, I don't know what time it was, I loaded it late at night, and I ended up playing it all through the night. I was utterly addicted to this game. I've also played Elite through the night, and I've also played he wasn't a particularly nice person, but he was a guy I used to pal about with when I was at school, and it was Hustler by Bubble Bus Software, which is basically, it's a very, very basic pool game. We used to play that through the night. But yeah, and Football Manager, how can I forget? Yeah, there's a pattern forming. Football Manager, my mate Don and I, we sat up all night and played Football Manager. Absolutely bizarre, but great stuff. Platonic 78. I think most 3D games are better in the ST due to the ST being able to shift polygons around at a faster and or smoother rate than Amiga. Really? I wasn't aware of that. Give or take the occasional exception, most other games and genres were far better on the Amiga, be that extra background detail or smoother scrolling, and of course much more obviously the music and sound effects. You did have the occasional software developer who really excelled with ST. The Bitmap brothers spring to mind, and in many cases released games almost indistinguishable from the Amiga version. Virtually the same graphics, scrolling and digitised sound effects and music, albeit perhaps slightly compressed in quality. But yeah, you have to say the Amiga was a much better machine for games. The Atari STE made a lot of improvements over the old FM model. A bigger overall colour palette to choose from, sound quality improved, better scrolling to name just a few, but developers had to take advantage of that, and more often than not they didn't, probably because they were all set in their ways, they didn't know how to and or couldn't be bothered. Both great systems in their own way, and I actually quite like the Atari ST sound chip. It makes things seem more like a computer game, whereas often I find Amiga games almost sound like movies with their grand scores. You know what, you're absolutely right, and there's something about computer music sounding like computer music. Whereas, yeah, as you say, the Amiga, it could sample, it sounded more like a real orchestra, whereas the Commodore 64, Atari ST sound like computer chips. But I'm certainly not knocking the Amiga. At the end of the day, I have extreme nostalgia for both computers. I owned them both as a teenager, and even after all these years later, I'm still buying games for the pair of them. You oldie gamer Steve, Alan, quite frankly, I don't give a toss if you record it on an iPad, a phone, a PC, a ZX81, Commodore 64, or the damn Hubble Space Telescope. I just come to hear your wise words and comments, and I'm good however it looks. Thank you very much, Steve. What's this here? Vinny the Macam. Alan, I've got a photo to send you, but no idea how. Not a dick pic, honest. Sorry, Vinny, I didn't even see that. What to do is, I think you can send me a private message in YouTube. Have a look. Right, anyway, listen, failed channel. This is the very last question, guys. I'm just conscious of the time. Why is so much sprite flicker acceptable on NES £50 releases that would get marked down really bad if that much sprite flicker was in a game reviewed by Zap? It's like someone looked at the sprite specs and decides, fuck it, just use more sprites than possible and let it flicker almost half the time. It's the only reason why C64 games with high-res overlay sprites have only 4 sprites on screen. They could have the same 8 as the NES games with the same graphics, but just the same acceptable sprite flicker. I'm not sure, but okay, I'm not sure exactly what the question is, but you're absolutely right. I mean, I never had an NES back in the day. I don't even own one now. I've played a lot of games on emulation on it, and obviously I play a lot of them when I'm doing the Arcade Perfect my arses, and it's always interesting just how, as Field Channels saying there, just how flickery the sprites were. And as he says, is it because they just wanted to have more sprites on screen? I don't know. I mean, as he said, you were paying £50 for a game, and yet if that was a Commodore 64 game, it would have been panned. But I suppose it's easy to kind of sit here in the year 2019 with our PS4s and what have you, our VR headsets, and look at these old games and pan them. And but I think you've got to always keep it in context. You've got to remember that these systems were the first systems to kick the whole thing off, and you've got to look at them in the context of when they came out, the hardware that they were trying to use, and that's why some of these arcade conversions that you see on some of the more the old 8-bits is just quite frankly astonishing. So. But anyway, listen guys, thanks very much to all the questions. It's time is battering on. I'm leaving here about 11:15, so I want to get my head down for an hour before I head out to this race. So I'm going to get going guys. Thanks as always to your continued support for the channel. Hopefully you're appreciating me getting more videos out. I am making more now and I'm enjoying it, so that will continue. Please, please, please join Lone Boys Post 1975 and myself tomorrow night. That is Saturday at 8 o'clock. Join us for some mayhem and nonsense. And as always guys, take it easy and thanks for watching.